him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll run for the first time with Austin Eckler. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Whitaker, and the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6. The numbers for him from a week ago, 18 carries, 55 yards.
I was so glad you asked for a couple of offensive linemen to talk to before the game because they told us that in last week's contest, everything was clicking. Didn't matter whether they were doing gap scheme, zone scheme, power, whatever it was working, and they expect more of the same in this game, although they're prepared for some adjustments by the defense they expect to see.
So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Back to throw. Whitaker. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, Eckler. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
2 running plays go backwards, so what's the call on 3rd and 13 now? From the gun, Whitaker. And Eifert has it. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 13-yard line.
I have no crystal ball up here. I can't truly see into the future. But if they don't start getting some pressure on him, make him move around a little bit and do something with the receivers, change up their timing, they're going to get shredded as we've seen so far. Right now, they're off to a blazing start.
Yeah, and you are right. He looks way too comfortable back there in the pocket.
Yeah, there shouldn't be a pillow back there for him, all right? As a defensive guy, they've got to dump him on his backside a few times, shake things up.
Yeah, they're going to need an in-drive adjustment here in this first series. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and they're going to have a 3rd down. Off play action. Whitaker. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag is down. This could possibly be a push-off. So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
The kick by Elliott is good. And the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. No touchdown there, but if that first drive is any indication, looks like they're going to have a pretty good day passing the football.
I would say confidence would have to be pretty high after that first drive, able to throw it almost at will. You're exactly right. They didn't get the touchdown, but 3 points serves as a nice notice about how this offense is going to move.
So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by their 6'5" quarterback out of North Dakota State. It's Carson Wentz.
He didn't have as many throws or plays in college as many of the quarterbacks that were coming out in the draft, but he maximized what he had. Ended up winning 2 national championships as a starting quarterback at North Dakota State.
He's got a first down and then some at midfield. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
The 20. Throw left side complete. It's Jordan. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles have taken the lead. That's an early touchdown grab for last week's NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was so electric, and they talked about it all week long. Have to try to contain it.
And now for him, being able to focus on the task at hand and not just immediately assume that last week it totally carries over, but you got to like the start that he has, showing those great hands that we've seen from him throughout.
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. The long touchdown pass gets them 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
On 1st and 10, Whitaker. He'll get this one to Cup, complete. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Running on 1st down, Eckler. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Draw play, it's Eckler. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. Now, Bengals on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Looking to throw. Whitaker. Looking for his tight end, Eifert, and it's intercepted. Picked by Ronnie Harrison, and he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
So here are the Eagles to take over. They're leading right now and on the heat. Of that victory last week against Arizona. 1st and 10 as they start this drive. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position after a turnover. I feel like I might have them a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn it into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
Looking to throw on second down. Wentz. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. They had the incomplete pass on second down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Shotgun now for Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Was hoping to make a play there on the return with his speed. Instead, he makes a play for the other side.
Yeah, and how many times have we heard coaches say, you know, sometimes it's not really about those X's and O's we drop. It's about those Jimmies and Joes. And when you have a punt returner, he's one of those Jimmies and Joes, one of the best athletes. He's unable to make the play that they were seeking, though.
The corner, Ronald Darby, comes up to get it.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. And he'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
Out of the gun, Eckler running it. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. The dump-off gets him only one, and now you're looking at a 3rd down. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the first round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future All-Pro.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. The Bengals bring out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. On second down now, it's Sanders. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Hey, Delta, let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies.
Working from the gun, Wentz. That's complete to Slayton. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you?
Hey, wahoo!
From midfield, here's Wentz. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now Wentz again. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Thought they were going to force a 4th down. Instead, P.I. gives them the first.
And that's frustrating because you think you've taken them really deep into the count, haven't you? Instead, you've got to start all over. That can really, really be demoralizing.
It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jordan. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Carson Wentz with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Point after, right down the middle. And that pushes the lead up to 11. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it was capped off by an Eagles touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And out now, here come the Bengals. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you get this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. This one fielded at the 5. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. On second down, it's Sanders. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, put a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Stand. Switch. The great finish done.
Throwing on first is Wentz. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done.
57's a mic. 57's a mic. Hey, foxtrot. 57's the mic.
Now they'll throw it. Wentz. Man open. It's J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses.
It really does, and we're talking about an era in the game where the quarterbacks are the most athletically gifted that we've seen in a bunch. I mean, when you talk about collectively, it's unbelievable. So they're
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Carl Lawson able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
It's a 46-yard punt, 2 on the return, and the Bengals will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3. And he's taken down back at his own 7. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back into this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now.
And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a first down. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
Off the play fake. Whitaker. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They'll run out of the gun with Eckler, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
Watch the twitch.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Whitaker, and he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 right at the 30. Wentz on the give to Sanders. As Sanders has it punked free. And the Bengals grab it. There he goes left side. And he bulls his way into the end zone for a Bengal touchdown. This defense, Charles, they needed some type of a spark to help get them back in this game.
Touchdown, Eagles.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
20! Hey, empty. Corky, 82, Corky.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wentz caught by the tight end Ertz. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. The big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Wentz. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Eagles in possession of the football and leading this one as we get ready to start the final quarter. Now Wentz on 3rd down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A very solid gain of 27. Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this 4th quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
Wentz now on 1st down. Open man, Arcega-Whiteside. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
The Eagles on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Wentz going to throw. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here. And now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like him? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Tough there, good pass, hit the hands, he just couldn't bring it in.
And every receiver's coach everywhere, seeing that play, focus, focus, focus. Watch it all the way in and tuck it away.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. On first down. Whitaker, he'll get this to Eckler. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
2nd and 3. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Open man is heard. It's complete. 12 yards that time, and a Cincinnati first down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Throwing on first down. Whitaker got his man. It's Eifert. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. 2nd and 2. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46.
I remember throughout my career here, defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 41-yard line. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Whitaker, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in 1 game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the...
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
And the pressure gets to him again. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. Now a desperation throw deep, and that's caught inside the 35. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that will force a turnover on downs. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
And he stopped immediately there. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Check, 154. Here we go, let's bring it. Sunday. Let's bring it. Check, check.
Again, it's Mixon. Mixon hit, and all the ball is out.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. A rough go there on 3rd down, a loss of 4.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest.
Ready? 60 outlaw. Right there, 56. We got double it. 5.
On 1st and 10, Whitaker. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. Back to throw. Whitaker. Catch is made by Hurd. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. Throwing on 3rd and long. Whitaker got his target, Samuel. And now we're going to get a timeout. Somewhat pointlessly called with 3 seconds to go in a game that's already been decided. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles. And this was about as close to a shutout as you can get. I mean, barring a game where you only allow a safety, but this was the next best thing, just the field goal. That's all they gave up.
Yeah, and you know something, they're going to be disappointed because they gave up the field goal. But deep inside, somewhat satisfied as well, because you know how hard it is to keep people from scoring in this league. And the idea that you just gave up 3, yeah, your coaches will get on you. They'll say, we should have the shutout. But they also will be pretty satisfied with that type of a performance.
So for Philadelphia, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, they'll drop to 0-2.